Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news largely about international trade, which is indicating a risk-off mood. The Americans released their March trade figures for goods and services, and that showed a wider overall deficit of $50 billion for the month, but a narrow deficit with China down to $20.7 billion, as imports slowed and exports rose with them. But you may recall that we reported China's data yesterday, which was for April, and that later data seems to show the reverse trends. However, the big point is that whatever the US deficit, it is not overly significant in the American economy, being just 2.9% of US GDP and stable. The issues here are political, not economic. Canada's trade deficit narrowed as exports rose faster than imports, which also rose. In China, consumer inflation hit a 6-month high in April, driven mainly by a faster rise in food prices, especially pork prices. Food prices are up 2.5%, and that's a rise from 2.3% in March. And China's new loans and overall borrower debt rose by less than analysts expected last month, bolstering views that their central bank will have to loosen monetary policy again as economic growth slows, and the risk that their trade dispute with the Americans will intensify. Global food prices rose in April to their highest level in almost a year, led by meat and dairy prices. In Europe, 2 banks are in trouble. In the UK, Metro Bank is facing a capital crisis, and in Italy, Banca Carige is under existential pressure after a major potential funder withdrew its intended support. It is a bank that's been ailing for some time. One curve many bond traders watch is the yield on 10-year US Treasury notes, which has fallen below the 3-month bill yield. This is unusual, and it's the second time it's happened in 2019. If it does correctly foreshadow a recession, one famous trader is warning that the resulting bond losses will be massive. In Australia, there's only about a week until their federal election. It will be close. Today, their opposition Labor Party released its campaign budget costings, and that shows it plans more spending, bigger tax cuts, and closing the tax loopholes for the rich, or in what they call the big end of town. US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 2.46%. That's 3 basis points lower in trading so far today. Gold is up $4 to $1,284 an ounce. US oil prices are slightly lower today, just on $61.50 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is just on $70 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar will start today at 66 US cents. On the cross rates, we're a touch higher at 94.3 Aussie cents. And against the euro, we're unchanged at 58.8 euro cents. That puts the TWI up marginally to 70.6. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.